Good evening, folks. I'm Mike Morris, the member of the Legislative Assembly for British Columbia out of Prince George and Mackenzie, or representing Prince George and Mackenzie. I'm humbled and honored to be receiving this award this evening from the Canadian Wildlife Federation. There's so much work to be done from a legislative perspective right across British Columbia, but Canada as well. In British Columbia, over the last 50 years since I've been an outdoors person, we have harvested about 12 to 15 million hectares of primary forests, which has led to the destruction of habitat necessary for our wildlife, our fish and wildlife populations. And I've seen probably a 50 to 70% decrease in wildlife populations right across the province as a result of that, and it's going to take decades for that to rebuild. The other compounding factor with the loss of forest cover, of course, is the impacts to the hydrological integrity of the watersheds in British Columbia, where we see lack of tree cover causing the snow melt to occur rapidly in the springtime in British Columbia, leading to these the spring freshets, 100-year floods that are happening on a regular occurrence now, and then the drying out of the land base in the watersheds. The area that I'm sitting around right now, this is early June. This should be still full of moisture, and yet it's tinder dry once again, and this leads to the onset of wildfire risk right across the province. So we need to roll up our sleeves. We have a lot of work ahead of us from a legislative perspective, but also from organizations like the Canadian Wildlife Federation, the BC Wildlife Federation, and other local groups to ensure that government changes its legislative policies and we start rebuilding our wildlife habitat stocks. We start looking after the hydrological integrity of the land base and protecting British Columbia. But we're going to be looking at decades in order to rebuild and make things great again in British Columbia. So again, thanks for this prestigious honor. I will cherish this for the rest of my life.